Your company this morning announcing tokenized deposits using blockchain technology. What exactly are we talking about here?
No, thanks for having us. This morning we announced cititoken services for cash and trade that we've done live pilot transactions. So truly future-proofing cities' infrastructure with tokens. So really excited to be here and share the details.
Break it down for me.
Yeah.
For our audience who, it sounds like this is very client facing. So for our audience who are individuals who are not your clients, kind of break down what exactly this means and why it's important for Citi beyond, innovation and innovating for the sake of innovating.
Yeah. So if we think about this digital frontier that we've entered, where clients want always on 24/7, 365 infrastructure. So if you think you're a large multinational client where you have multiple bank accounts in multiple different regions across border, and you keep buffers of cash in each of these regions, it's really an inefficient use of cash. So think of the future where you can do just-in-time funding. If it's Saturday or it's Friday night, 5 p.m. in the US and 5 a.m. in Singapore, but you need to get money there, you can send that immediately within seconds. And I think that really adds that kind of like that benefit for clients. And then the programmability is also a really important functionality that we're adding. So our, City Token services for trade with smart contracts to be able to, and again, a smart contract is just a series of if this happens, then do that. So, if this contract, is executed, then release the funds, and fully automated, no paper, really enabling clients for that, always on infrastructure.
So that is tokenized deposits on either that front or the smart contracts front. Can you say, are there clients that you are able to share with us, just to give us a little example of how this is being implemented in the real world?
Yeah, absolutely. So Maersk is one of our large pilot clients that we did. And as Maersk passed through a canal, they automatically pre-funded a smart contract with tokens. And then once they received the services, the token was automatically paid out. So as you can imagine, trade is a very paper-ridden, not digital first kind of business that we're looking to digitize and add those efficiencies for our clients.
How do you see Citi expanding on these capabilities down the road?
Yeah, so we've built this platform on a ERC20 EVM compatible protocol, which is really important. There's a lot of legislation out there in the marketplace right now in regards to stablecoins and crypto. And if any of these bills pass and our clients want to start using these, we'll have an enabled platform. So having this ERC20 token, which will be fungible, today, day one, we're doing it for, tokenized deposits, cash management, efficiencies in trade, but really future proofing and working with clients to build this out. So, we mentioned Maersk, which is one of our pilot clients, and really helping to build out the functionality in our roadmap, which includes not just a Citi token. We want to work with other banks, like we've done on the regulated liability network with the Fed and other banks. Like clients don't want, individual bank tokens. They want multi-token, multi-border liquidity for added efficiencies.
And I think what you just said means that you are using a permissioned version of the Ethereum blockchain. And, we've been talking about this for several months now. We talked about it together earlier this year in the spring, but public blockchains, I know it's early in the game and this is, the way you're doing it now is the way you have to do it. But do you ever see there being a day or a reason for a Citi itself or for a bank in general to implement public blockchains?
It's going to really depend on regulation, in my opinion, because right now it's only permissible for us to be on a permission chain. So if regulation changes and regulators get comfortable with public, we will definitely go down that route. But right now, from a regulatory standpoint, we're sticking with permission. So it really depends, I think, on that. And as you know, today we've talked about in the past, it's very bifurcated across the different regions, right? Between the US, EMEA, Asia, the different regulations coming out in this space. So it'll be, I think, more to come kind of in the future on that. But, we're making it where we are future-proofing our system, that if that does happen, we can move to a public chain.
Well, tokenization really has been the theme of the year. And I think even, we were talking this spring about how it's not the first time we've been through this. And I think even back then it was still a little bit early, but it is interesting to have gone these next few months and seen just the excitement build around it, both, I think, from where I sit within the financial services industry, but also on the crypto side, talking to VCs and with developers. How do you see an announcement like this, or a development like this, rather, from an institution like Citi, affect adoption of these technologies, which really has been on a long journey being kind of crypto specific, and now hitting a big institution like Citi?
I think it's really important for our clients. Everything we do is very client centric. And as our clients are embarking on this journey, we've had inbounds from them for a trusted partner like Citi to partner with them on this. So here I am. I'm sure you can hear the background at Sibos right now with, several entities that have made announcements, as well as like Swift, who's talking about a consortium in this space. So you're seeing more and more enterprises enter their space as their clients are requesting that. And I think that will continue as we move to the next evolution from retail into enterprise.
All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, which is to say in the Paleo Hebrew, Yahweh, the name of the Heavenly Father, meaning He is Yahweh, Bahashem, saying in the name, Yahweh Shai, He is our salvation. That's who the world English calls Jesus, a so-called black man. Well, there you have it. Citibank, one of the largest banks here in America, has rolled out their blockchain technology for their private, higher, upper echelon clients to use. And they calling it cititokens. For all you naysayers out there, and I just did a video of what the mark in Revelation 13 is compared to what the mark spoken of in Ezekiel, the 9th chapter. So go check that out. So as you heard from the video that I played, that lady that was talking is the Citibank treasurer of digital assets. She said that they just came out with the cititoken today, Monday, for some of their largest institutional clients, such as these corporations like these insurance companies, some of their business partners that they do overseas, like who have investments in some of their stocks and bonds and treasuries and stuff like that, like other countries that invest big time in their city, in their bank. They just rolled out the digital currency that's going to allow them to trade 24/7, 365. And they're looking to trade amongst other banks. So you can see how this thing is going to be interwoven. It's going to go out through the whole world economy, global. She made mention of Swift, which is like an international bank, telecommunications service. So they trying to go digital as well. So this thing is here, man, and we rolling into prophecy. You need to be prepared because that mark is coming, and it's not no sin. This thing is going to be physical. You're going to have this thing to complete transactions. And you saying to yourself, well, how does that affect me? Because you need to understand that your company that you work for uses these banks on their payroll to pay you. So in order for them to complete their transactions, they're going to have to be part of that bank's blockchain technology. And it's going to trickle down to you, the consumer, the employee. So for instance, if you work for a big time company like an insurance company, like what's a good insurance company? Mutual funds or something of that nature. Or if you work at like a fast food restaurant, these companies banking, they use these big time banks. So these big time banks rolling out these tokens is going to have an effect on the company that you work for, to sign up and to be part of this tokenized society. And by proxy, you're going to have to sign up whatever that company you work for, new means of operation, how they're going to pay you. Because at one time, you was able to get a check and cash it at your local convenience store or whatever. Then after a while, your job tells you have to sign up for direct deposit because we don't want to continue to waste paper and hand you out these paper, check stubs. So you can see the transaction is coming smoothly. So they're going to go from direct deposit to now you have to sign up for this token. We're going to start paying you through tokens, which is a form of blockchain technology. Now we're going to read this article and go into it a little bit, but that's monumental. Citibank, that's a large bank here in America, and they just rolled out today, Monday, the 18th of September, 2023, a citoken, allowing other institutions, to trade in within their banking system. So that's big time. That's showing you that we getting one step closer. They moving down the line to rolling out that mark where you're going to have to take it, and we're going to get that prophecy in Revelation 13 once again. Because like I said, I did a video earlier showing you the difference between the mark in Revelation 13 and the mark in Ezekiel 9. Two different marks. One is physical and one is spiritual. So here we is on the precipice of this new Citibank token digital asset for institutions to use around the clock, 365, 24/7, has just been rolled out today, Monday, September the 18th, 2023. So we getting one step closer to it coming down to, all banks are going to use it. Like I said, they're going to stage some type of crises that's going to cause, whatever they need to be caused to have everybody receive this mark. But right now you're seeing the financial side of it being set up right here before your eyes. So let's go ahead and go into Citigroup. Let's go into this article and let's read a little bit about it. And this is Decrypt. And the headline reads, Citigroup will let rich clients use private blockchain to transfer assets. And those rich clients are your big time institutions, such as, your corporations like, your insurance companies or, other countries, banks like the Bank of Japan. If they want to invest in Citibank, they could buy digital assets, or, big time companies such as like Walmart, Target, and other types of places like that. And sooner or later, it's going to come down to the average consumer, the average customer that banks with Citibank. They're going to have to get aboard and get that citoken too. So it reads, Citigroup will let rich clients use private blockchain to transfer assets. Citigroup is allowing big money clients to transform their deposits into digital tokens. Now that's a big step. That's a big move. A lot of people can look at that and take that as something big is, right around the corner. A collapse maybe. Who knows? But we're going to sit here and see how it plays out. So it reads, investment banking giant Citigroup today announced the launch of a digital token service for institutions. The citoken services product uses blockchain and smart contract technology to allow its institutional clients to send money across borders quickly, Citi said Monday. The technology will use a private blockchain, not a public one like Bitcoin or Ethereum, because there's speculation that those can be, hacked and tapped into. So Citibank is trying to show you the, regular customer that they doing all they can to protect your assets, your money. And your money is insured up to $250,000. Then after that, you might have to count it as a loss unless you get this citoken, where they could track the transactions to see exactly who was taking what from what. because it's all just a big ledger, and you just part of one of the numbers on part of the ledger. So it says it added that cititoken service will provide automated trade finance solutions on a 24/7 basis. So this cititoken service is going to be working around the clock 24/7, 365. So, you know, when the regular banking hours are over with and you can't do business after hours, you're going to be able to do that with this cititoken. It's going to be round the clock, 24/7, on a 24/7 basis. So here we are, you know, for all you naysayers who's saying that this is not leading to the mark, you know, you seeing it right here before your eyes. A digital token. And one of the biggest banks here in America, Citibank. And you know, other banks aren't far behind. You know, they already got theirs ready too. So look forward to seeing these things come out frequently more and more as we get closer to the end. You're going to continue to see things that, you know, the media is going to try to distract you from, that you're not going to see unless you do the research and look for it. So this is one of these things that we're seeing right now. We're seeing the development and rollout of a digital currency, albeit it's a private one right now, but eventually it's going to come around to where the everyday average customer can get on board and use it as well. I mean, like I said, what more can you say? You know, it's here. This is it. Citigroup, that's a big time bank. I mean, you can't get no bigger than that. I mean, you can JP Morgan, maybe Chase, you know, but they all on the same, you know, same accord as Citibank. They deal with other big time institutions, you know, not just here domestically, but foreign as well. So they gonna have their own version of it, and they're gonna roll out with their token as well. So like I said, you can see how all these banks are going to be interwoven into one. You know, they're going to all be on the beast system. So let's go to Revelation 13 and let's read that. All right, this is Revelation 13 and verse 16. And it reads, and he calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor. You seeing it right now. The great and the rich is getting they, you know, jab at it right now. They stab at it right now. But sooner or later, it's going to be the small and the poor. The everyday customer is going to be coerced into using this in order to continue to transact and make payments and use this beast system. You're going to have to take this mark. They're giving you what they call gradualism. They letting you build your way up into it. Now they could come out with it, you know, that's all still determined to see how they gonna play it. They could all just come out and say, okay, this crisis is here. You need to have this to, you know, continue to stay on the system, the grid, or they could just gradually, you know, build their way up into it. But they know they have a short time, pursuant to Revelation, the 12th chapter, the 12th verse. So it says, Revelation 13:16, and he calls us all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number. And we counted the number in the previous video before. We went into that number, 603 Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 603. And when we go into that word and look up the root, that word is stigma, which is prick. A cutting of the flesh, you know. So we know they're going to roll it out, and they're going to have to come with it, and it's going to either come all out at once, depending on what type of crisis they use, or they're going to gradually, you know, build you up into it. They may let you rock with it for a few, and then they may just say, hey, now is the time for the crisis to be used. So we have to have these, everyday Joes, the masses have this mark in their right hand to conduct business. Okay, so this is just a quick update. The mark is a physical device. So you seeing it being prepared to be rolled out right now. It's starting at the top, and it's going to work its way down to the bottom. So you seeing the infrastructure being put into place. You already know they got the FedNow wallet out, the FedNow app, which they can roll out and put money directly onto it. And you already have a FedNow app, whether you know it or not, because you've already been placed on the ledger. And the ledger, like I said earlier, is just a way of them tracking your bank account and all that stuff, digitally. No longer are we in the days where you write stuff down. No, they doing things digitally. They want to do away with all that, going by the, book and doing things manually, because they can't track that. They want to be able to track everything you do, everything you spend digitally. So this currency that they're getting ready to roll out is going to be all tracked digitally. You sell something on the side of the road, you're not going to be able to complete that transaction unless you have that mark, which is a form of digital currency. It's going to be able to track your health to see whether or not you have whatever, thing is out. Choosing my words carefully, but you know what I'm trying to say. Whatever ailment that they say is out, you're going to have that to prove that you don't have any of those signs or, symptoms to come in to complete businesses, to complete transactions or what have you. It's going to be, like I said, 2 Thessalonians 2:9, they're going to provide a lot of things that's going to seem like a miracle, but it's going to be all lying wonders. So it's here. The beginning is here. Like I said in Habakkuk 2:3, though it tarry, wait for it, it will not tarry. It's showing itself. They're getting ready to come out with it. You're going to wait up until the last minute. By that time, it's going to be too late. You're going to be already, trapped in their snare, in their gins. So you seeing it roll out right now with Citibank. That's a big time player here in America. That's one of the biggest banks. You can see it can at any time consolidate all these medium to smaller banks into one if they want to come in and take over like that. So it's nothing for you banking in a smaller bank or medium-sized bank to have that bank ran over and taken over by a bigger bank such as Citibank or Chase or JP Morgan, Bank of America or Wells Fargo. It's nothing for them big time players to consolidate these small to medium banks into one. So this is it, man. You seen it for yourself. Read an article and played the video for you. So do your research, do your due diligence. Be sober, be vigilant. You know the saying. Let's go there and read it. First Peter chapter 5, verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour. And if you don't believe what he's doing is what he's doing, and you are left to fend for yourself in the dark, well, you're going to fall right into his snare, his trap. So this is the time to be sober while you have time, and to be vigilant. Because there's going to come a time where you're going to have to rely on what you learn. And if you haven't learned anything through your time, your mercy, your grace that you had while it was provided for you, then you're going to be left to take whatever this devil gives you, this roaring lion, as an adversary. And we already know what he's going to give you, pursuant to Revelation, the 13th chapter, which we read already. So be vigilant, you know, be sober. Can't reiterate that enough, because a lot of people are going to fall victim to this devil's philosophy and have fallen victim and won't wake up in time. They're going to be drunk, drunk with wine. So hopefully someone was able to get something from this and take something from this. If it be the Lord's will, until the next time, stay strong, stay in the faith. We almost home. Shalom.